So this is a brief overview of the functionalities of ECM-Connect with the Sub-Business One and DocuWare. As you can see, the ECM-Connect is an add-on which is connected within the SAP, and you can use the functionalities right in the screens. For example, we have here the business partner, and when I do a right-click on the business partner, I get a context menu with two new features for the moment. I can add a new text attachment or external document, which we will do right now. When we start the dialog, we get here the just normal overview for documents, and we can go to the we can go to the setup here and find some pictures or whatever to store it in our system. And let's take an English document here. So I have the purchase scenario. Okay, there's nothing in there, so let's go back here. Just store a PDF document. What happens next is when we store the document, we have a preset setting here for the text dialog. We have first of all the file name, and we can set another text here and give the information to the system for later purposes. So I just say, okay, store the document, and after we store the document, we just go on the right click, and as you can see in the headline, there's already a change. Now you can see that this business partner has one attachment. So while clicking through the record sets, you will get an information if there's any document or not. And if you have an attachment, you can see that we have another new topic here, attachment list. When I click on here, we see that within SAP a list opens. And within this list, we have the possibility to double click the document. And when we double click the document, it opens the DocuWare viewer here. And because I'm using the cloud, I have to log in first. When you have it on premise, it's a single sign-on, of course. And now that we are logged in, you can see that we have all the functionalities of the DocuWare web client, and we see the document here in the viewer. So this is now the document I stored, and this is the integration. And as you can see, also a preview in the Sub-Business One is available, so that you don't even have to open a document when you just see from the thumbnail that it is not the right document at all. Another possibility to show the document or all documents which are attached to this business partner is that you go to the ECM viewer. When you click the ECM viewer, we have a slightly different behavior of the system. Of course, we go to the DocuWare itself, but now you see that we have a search result list, and the search result list gives us information about the document, like who did it, what kind of document it is, etc. And I can open the document now here with a double click, just as the normal functionality within the system. And as you can see, in this case, we had an invoice already stored in the system for this business partner. So I go to different objects as well. So this is the easiest way to have a short overview. So as I said, very simple integration for the user. You always have the right-click menu. You have the very easy information. The notice here replaces the remarks of the sub-business 1. So this here is not safe because you can change it anytime. The remarks you do with our interface are stored for safe and can't be changed afterwards. These attachments here are not necessary anymore, so you can be sure that every document which belongs to the business partner or any other object in the sub-business 1 is safe, secure in the DocuWare, and you have all the informations you need on that document. So this is the part where you can see how it works on that part. The other thing is, of course, you can also use that part here with the sales orders if you want to store a document from the SAP side itself, so that you have a printout. You have the possibility to right click here, and you see we have the same functionalities as well. We can also store external documents. We can just go to the viewer, and we have another thing for the printout parts. We can use choose a specific layout here, that if you click on it, you see these are the layouts you can choose. For example, if you have a customer who has another language and you want to choose a specific language of the layout of the print, then you can do so. Or if you have layouts which are maybe chosen from print rolls or something like that, you can just do that as well. So I just make here an update on the system, and you can set up the system in that way that you can choose if you only want to print a document while you print it, or you can choose to archive a document while you change it and print it. So that is the thing that you have here in mind. And it will always print it with the standard layout, which is or can be found here. You see this is the standard layout, and that is taken from the system. If you would like to have another layout, you can choose as shown. If you have a customer with a foreign language, the system chooses the layout by language itself. If there's no fitting language, we switch back to English in that way. So this is the integration which the user sees. And now some stuff for the technical part. As you can see, we have some basic settings here, which are very strong in setting up the system like you would like to have it. Like here you can say which text you would like to have in the text box, as you have seen in the file dialog that we had the file name and we had to enter a text there because it's mandatory. You have the choice of file, full path, leave the text field empty, user or Dropbox. Then you have values from a specified value list you define. We have some settings for the ECM systems. We can choose some timers where we start some functionalities in the background which do not have to be triggered by the user itself, and stuff like that. So I don't want to go too deep into it. We have user settings. The main part is here that you can say which log level you would like to have for one user, so that the possibility is there if there's any error on one specific user, we can get this log level to debug and look what is going on. We have the barcode printer and default printer, which is used by this user just to check some stuff. Connectivity to the system of DocuWare. As you can see, we have over 600, nearly 700 MIME types supported in the interface. We also support scanners and interfaces to other systems. And with the very complex table we see here, we have the possibility to set up very specific settings for each and every single object within SAP. So there is nothing which you can't archive. And another functionality which is also given here is that if you store a document within SAP, within DocuWare, we select information from SAP and we give the information to DocuWare so that you can be sure that in that second that the document is stored or SAP gets knowledge of a document within SAP, we fill all the metadata within the DocuWare. So another nice feature is the upload functionality, which is not really an upload to SAP, but more a link. Means if we have a document with document type correspondence in this case, and we have a partner ID number, so the business partner number, the document will be found on DocuWare, and the system brings a link into the SAP. So when you go to the specific business partner, you will see the document attached. And in the same moment, as I just showed before, the document will get additional data on the metadata of the document. And we have a lot of possibilities here to set it up for every single system. And the ECM-Connect Plus also features that we can make an OCR recognition on the document, and later on we can do a mapping. And this mapping means that we get an XML file. In this case, we have some fields in the XML file. We map it to the SAP parts. And what comes out is something like that we have here, the drafts and document drafts report. And you've seen that we have stored already one invoice on that specific business partner, and we have the documents drafts here within SAP, and the upload functionality allows to create a draft within SAP so that you have all the information from the document which was stored in DocuWare already pre-entered in SAP. And if everything is fine, you just can say add, and you have a final document. Or you can change anything on here and then say add, or you can save it again and leave it in the drafts and say save as draft. Then the document just stays in this document drafts report here. So these are the functionalities in a short overview. I hope you have a nearly idea what the interface is capable to do, and I'm glad to assist you with other information. So if you have any questions, come back to me, and in the near future you will get a little bit more detailed and better prepared scenarios that we show the processes like a purchase order process running from the purchase request until to the final invoice from the vendor, and how everything works in the subsurface as well as the DocuWare surface. So I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, so that's for today.